Hey, you guys. Thanks for listening in on this episode of Tips with T. On today, I have Mr. Raj with us. Hey, Mr. Raj, how you doing?
I am doing good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. So tell us more about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, so um, again, I'm Raj and I do tech career coaching. So, what I do is I help people, specifically in the tech industry, to find their dream job and become successful leaders in the industry. And another part of what I do is speaking as well. So I speak at various company events, speak on various topics related to leadership, motivation, mindfulness, productivity, career advancement. And finally, I also do writing for a lot of tech companies, sharing my thoughts on various topics. So that's pretty much what I do, but mainly it's tech career coaching, helping people succeed in their careers.
Awesome. So, how can we get our dream job during this time? Like, what would you suggest on how to achieve that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, this is the thing. Currently, people feel really anxious about their job security. They feel stuck in their careers. And already, there have been mass layoffs, and people have been in the receiving end of it. And
Mhm.
finally, you have people who want to take a leap in their careers, but they have the fear of the unknowns. And I was in the exact same situation in 2008, where I applied for 1,293 jobs
Mhm.
and I got four callbacks from it. And I converted one job out of these 1,293 jobs. So, and for all the math nerds listening, it's like a 0.3% conversion rate, right? So, um, going through that journey taught me a lot about how to find your dream career. And over the past 15 years, I've learned so many different strategies which can help to transform your life and thrive in the career you love. And this is how you're going to do it. So before I talk about the strategy, just to give you some context, say you're using Google Maps, right? And if you don't put a destination address, you cannot expect to go to that destination. And then you cannot complain that Google Maps is not working properly for you. Our careers are the same way. If you don't know where you're heading and what your ideal career should be, then there's no use putting your effort in something which you're not passionate about. So finding a dream career starts first thing with what I call as a mind dump exercise. It's a really simple exercise which you can do right now. So literally take a paper and a pen and put a line right through the middle of the paper. On the left side of the column, write down things you love to do. And on the right side of the column, write down things you hate to do. And do this for 30 minutes to an hour in an uninterrupted way. So no Facebooking, no text messaging, because you are trying to unravel whatever is locked in your mind and you're trying to make those things visible by writing them down. Just by doing that exercise, you're going to find a lot of different things about you. So for example, say you like creativity, critical thinking, you like programming in software, you don't like being micromanaged, you don't like processes, you like to be left alone when you do your job. Say that was the things you have identified. Then probably being a software developer at a startup company is something is going to be right for you.
Mhm.
So similarly, you're going to find different patterns just by doing these exercises. And then you can start classifying those strengths into different career options. And once you come up with a list of, say, 6 to 7 career options, choose the top 3 career options. And then you're going to identify different tasks you have to do to get to those careers and map it out for into a 3 month or a 6 month plan, and literally put that on a weekly basis, in terms of on a weekly basis what are you going to do for the next 30 days or 60 days to reach that particular career. So that's how you structure it. So the first thing is the mind dump exercise. And a couple of things I could mention in terms of strategies as well as your LinkedIn profile. So LinkedIn is the most underrated but hyper useful, productive social channel for tech professionals or in professionals in general,
Mm-hmm.
because that's where all the people hang out, especially people related who are focused on careers. So
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have a LinkedIn profile, pause this episode right now and go create a LinkedIn profile, because that is really, really important. The
Yeah.
reason is everything you put on your LinkedIn profile is SEO information.
Mm-hmm.
So everything you put in terms of the keywords, like being a team player, leadership, sales, marketing, um, and programming, and then programming languages, and all those things you put on your LinkedIn profile, what happens is when companies use their recruiting software, the recruiting software scans through different LinkedIn profiles and looks for these keywords.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's really important to have a LinkedIn profile and mention the keywords associated with your ideal career. So that's the thing you have to do with your LinkedIn profile. And of course, there are more advanced LinkedIn strategies you could do to find jobs, which not even advertised yet, which I describe in my book as well. So we talked about mind dump exercise. We talked about the LinkedIn strategies. Just quickly, another thing you could do right now to identify a dream career is you have to start strategizing your entire job application process based on the things you've identified through the mind dump exercise. Say, for example, you identified that being a manager, being a, I don't know, sales executive, and then being a call center rep. I'm just randomly giving you examples. Say those were the three career options which kind of you figured. What you're going to do right now is you're going to strategize your job application process. So literally, I created an Excel sheet, and then we can put those links in the show notes as well, where you're going to have an Excel sheet. You're going to have a column where you put all the different company names, the job links, what type of job role you're applying for, and then who's the point contact person. So you're going to map and log everything you do in terms of job application process focused on the top three career options, right? By doing that, you are more prone to know what's actually going on with the job application process, because currently this is a thing. Because of COVID, there have been millions of jobs lost and people are panicking and they're just applying for any job which comes up. But now with having this Excel sheet and methodically applying for the jobs which you want to do, you have full control of the entire process. So out of the blue, if you get a call saying, hey, we are this person from company X, you know who you're talking to. Think about it. When I was applying for 1,293 jobs, for the first 500 jobs, I was randomly applying. So when I got a call from someone, I had no clue who was calling. And then I just made assumptions about the job. And yeah, it didn't lead to any place or anywhere, right? So those are like top three things you could do right now to find your dream career. And of course, I talk about more strategies to help you reach that goal in my book as well. So definitely go check it out.
Awesome. So I'm glad you gave those three strategies. Okay, so what will you suggest on a person how they can ace the actual interview? Okay, so we did the three strategies. Now we're getting calls to come interview. So how can we ace those interviews?
So already based on different things I'm saying, now you know that I'm a strategy guy. So talking about acing interviews, again, it's a strategy. The
Mhm.
whole job application process is strategy. So that's why I always talk about actionable items which you can implement in your life right now. So now coming to acing interviews, there are a lot of things people need to think about, right, in terms of interviews. Because this is the thing, in the current times, there are probably about 1,000 people applying for the exact same job. So
Mhm.
what makes you stand out from the crowd? So that's what we need to think about right now. And different ways you can stand out from the crowd and ace interviews are as follows, right? So I can talk about two or three strategies.
Mhm.
First one is You come up with what is called a 90-day plan. So, based on researching the company and based on different things you think you can accomplish at a company, you come up with a mind map, which is basically like a flow chart of different things you can accomplish in the first 90 days. And then you literally take a printout of it. And when you go for an interview, hand out these printouts to the interviewers saying, hey, before we start the interview, I just wanted to mention that here's a 90-day plan of what I think I could contribute to the growth of the company in the first 90 days of me joining. What that's going to do is two things. One is it shows proactiveness, that you are willing to do what it takes and contribute effectively. How many people do you think will do a 90-day plan? Pretty much no one. Right
Mm-hmm.
there, you have done something different from other people. The second thing is, say you have a 1 hour interview and they start from the 90-day plan, you can consume the first 15-20 minutes just talking about the 90-day plan. So what's happening here is you're talking about something you already know, which you already prepared for. So even if they had a lot of questions planned to ask you, now you have consumed 20 minutes out of the 40-minute time period. So you are making your first impression immediately about different things you already know. So the 90-day plan is going to be really, really helpful. Just by doing this, I used to ace every freaking interview I went to because no one used to do that, right? Another thing you could do is research the interviewers.
Mm-hmm.
So usually if you go for an interview, they will give you the name of the person you're going to interview with. They would say you're interviewing with the VP of sales, with John Smith, right? For example. Now, what you're going to do is literally go to LinkedIn, search for John Smith for that company. You'll get his whole LinkedIn profile. And what you're going to do is figure out different icebreaker conversations you can start with. Say, for example, I'm a Clevelander. I'm originally from Cleveland, and I'm a huge Ohio State football fan, right? Say John Smith graduated from Ohio State. What you could do is when you meet this person, the first thing you would say, hey, how's it going? And then through your conversation, you could pull up the Ohio State card where you would say, yeah, I was checking you out and seems like you went to Ohio State. Go Buckeyes. If you say that, immediately he's going to start talking to you saying, yeah, I went to Ohio State as well. And what are you going to do, right? What that does is, again, for the first 1 hour, when you talk about Ohio State for the first 10 minutes, you have already consumed the first 10 minutes of the 60-minute interview. You see where I'm going with this? So
Mm-hmm.
similarly, there's a lot of other strategies you can follow to ace interviews as well. Just by doing this, I have pretty much got most of my jobs in the first attempt. Once I realized these strategies about 7-8 years ago, and I've been using this to help other people as well to ace interviews when especially they've always been failing at interviews. Using some of these strategies which I help them with, they are able to clear the interviews within the first 2 or 3 tries, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everything is based on strategy and human connection, and then comes your skill set part. So there you go, some strategies to ace interviews.
Awesome, awesome. So where can we get your book and what's your name of your book? Because you are giving some good strategies on how we can job search, how we can ace our interviews. So tell us more about where we can get your book and where we can purchase it.
Yeah, so all the information about my book can be found on my book website. It's called skyrocketyourcareerbook.com, and we could add it to the show notes as well. And there you're going to find out different information about the book in terms of what we cover in the book as well. On a high level, we start with how to find your dream career, then talk about salary negotiation and interview techniques. And then we move on to, okay, now you got a job. How do you be successful in it? So we go through different strategies. And then, okay, now you're successful, but how to be a rock star at work where you set yourself miles apart from the competition so that you get all the promotions, you get all the bonuses, you get all the recognition. That's the third part. And the final part is how to exponentially boost your career growth through different things, which I personally follow and I coach other people with as well. So that is kind of how the book is divided into. And it's available on Amazon. And yeah, you can go there right now to the book website and then buy it. And also, I'm giving away a free chapter, the first chapter for free. So if you are kind of want to understand what my book covers,
Mm-hmm.
you could just download the free chapter, and then you'll get an insight into my personal story of how I transformed my life from a shy, introverted kid earning a minimum salary into running a six-figure business and being an international keynote speaker, author, and coach. So I talk about these personal stories and weave that with strategies as well.
Awesome. So I'm going to share your social media handles so you can tell the people how they can get in contact with you if they would like to render your services.
Awesome. Yeah, there you go. You have all my information there. And pretty much, yeah, all information about the book can be found in that first link over there.
Awesome. And so you guys, he got his personal website. Check him out. He's on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. He has a YouTube channel, Instagram. So yeah,
And also, I hang out on LinkedIn. That's my jam. So if anyone wants to connect with me, yeah, literally just type in my name. I'll show up, follow me, and let's start a conversation there. I love making new friends and connecting with new people as well. So remember that.
awesome. And if you guys want to get in contact with me, you can do so. Um, My number is 910-317-0396. You can shoot me an email at contact@mjfinancial.biz. You can schedule a consultation with me on the website, www.mjfinancial.biz. You can find this episode on Anchor, you guys, and you can also find the playback for this video on YouTube for M&J Financial Management. So thank you once again, Mr. Raj, for being on the show. I highly appreciate you coming in, talking about your books, giving us these helpful tips during this time, this pandemic. I'm sure some people can use it when it's come to them trying to possibly maybe having to relocate, find another job.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you giving me an opportunity to share different insights into career growth. So thanks for that.
Thank you once again for being a guest on the show. And all right, you guys, we will see you on the next episode of Tips with T.